You need to see this right now. As I record this, the digital ink is being scrubbed from the servers at the State Department, the Pentagon, and the National Security Agency. What I am about to tell you is the single most significant military event in the history of the United States Navy, and the mainstream media is currently under a total blackout order to keep you from panicking. The world changed just minutes ago, and if you aren't paying attention, you are going to wake up in a country that has lost its status as a global superpower before the sun hits the horizon. The truth is harsher, colder, and more terrifying than anything you will ever hear on the evening news. I've spent my life in the shadows of military intelligence. I've walked the halls where the real decisions are made. I've analyzed theater-level conflicts from the deserts of Iraq to the bunkers of Eastern Europe, and I am telling you the data I am seeing from my sources on the ground right now indicates a total tactical catastrophe in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has just seized 7 U.S. ships. These aren't small patrol boats. We are talking about a coordinated capture of high-value assets, including 2 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and 5 essential support vessels. This is an act of war, but 5 minutes after the seizure, the Iranians realize they've stepped into a trap they cannot escape, and the regret I'm talking about isn't what you think. It's not a Hollywood rescue mission, it's the activation of a dead man's switch that the elites in Washington have been hiding from the American people for 30 years. Stay with me because the most shocking part of this, the actual smoking gun that the Pentagon is hiding regarding our own naval fail-safes, is coming in just a moment. I will reveal the specific technical code that was transmitted from the 7th Fleet just before the screens went dark by the end of this briefing. Imagine the scene right now in the narrowest neck of the Strait of Hormuz. The air is thick with the smell of diesel exhaust and the metallic, cloying tang of ozone from high-output jamming arrays. The orange skies of the Persian Gulf are being cut by the streaks of light from Mach 7 hypersonic signatures, signals being picked up by our Aegis systems that are currently being saturated to the point of total system failure. Flickering communication lines are buzzing with the sound of Wave 55 electronic warfare protocols. In my time in military intelligence, I've seen some bold moves, but I have never seen a theater-level saturation on this scale. The data I am seeing from my sources on the ground indicates that the Iranians utilized a secret country's technology to blind our satellite uplinks, allowing them to swarm our destroyers with hundreds of low-cost drones while their fast attack craft moved in for the capture. But here is where the regret starts. The Iranians thought they were seizing the crown jewels of the U.S. Navy. What they didn't know, what the Pentagon has kept classified under the Cobalt Ghost Protocol, is that these ships were already rigged with a cyberkinetic payload designed to be captured. 5 minutes after the boarding parties stepped onto the decks, the ship's internal systems initiated a total lockdown. We are talking about the Aegis system saturation being turned inside out. Every Iranian radar station from Bandar Abbas to Tehran is now being fed a recursive data loop that is melting their hardware in real time. But stay with me because this tactical victory comes at a price that will bankrupt every single person watching this video. The stakes are rising. We've moved past a tactical skirmish. We are now in a regional war footprint that is rapidly escalating toward a global economic collapse. Why? Because while the Iranians are regretting the capture of these cyber bombs, the 5 countries I've mentioned before, China, Russia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, are moving in to finalize the Eurasian Shield. They are begging Iran to move into the Pakistan corridor to bypass the Strait of Hormuz entirely. Iran has not said yes to one of them yet. They are holding the cards. They are waiting to see if the U.S. is going to respond with a nuclear existential strike, or if we are going to let our currency die. I will reveal the specific document, the Hormuz Contingency Annex, that explains why the Pentagon is terrified of this Iranian-Pakistani handshake by the end of this script. But first, you have to understand the economic carnage. When those 7 ships were seized, the global insurance rates for oil tankers didn't just go up, they vanished. No one will insure a ship in the Gulf right now. That means the flow of oil has stopped. As I speak, the petrodollar is being systematically dismantled. You are looking at $15 gas at the pump. I am not being hyperbolic. I've seen the projected supply chain disruptions. Your 401k is tied to a dollar that is being decoupled from the world's energy vein. The elites don't want you to see this because they've already moved their assets into the secret country's gold-backed accounts. You are the one who will be left with the regret. Having analyzed the logistics of the IRGC's forward defense doctrine for decades, I can tell you that the technical specificity of this seizure was flawless. They used the Shahed 238 turbojet drones to create a kinetic wall that no SM-3 interceptor could penetrate. We are spending $10 million per interceptor to hit a drone that costs as much as a used Honda. The math doesn't work. The U.S. Navy is currently facing a Wave 55 saturation that has turned our most advanced ships into floating museums. But the regret for Iran is that by seizing these ships, they've activated the quantum kill switch. I've seen the technical specifications of this system. It doesn't just disable the ship, it uses the ship's own antenna array to transmit a logic bomb into the entire regional power grid. 5 minutes after the seizure, the lights started going out in Iranian command centers. The sensory drama of this is terrifying. Technicians in darkened rooms in Tehran watching their screens flicker and die, the smell of ozone as their mainframes fry, the realization that they've invited a Trojan horse into their living room. But don't cheer yet. Every 15 minutes, the stakes get higher. We are now moving toward the unthinkable scenario. If Iran realizes their grid is being dismantled, they will move to their secondary protocol, the total destruction of the Saudi oil fields. This is the regional war that the secret country has been salivating over. They profit no matter who wins. I feel a profound sense of patriotic anger when I see our young sailors being used as bait for this cobalt ghost operation. I've walked the decks of those destroyers. I've seen the eyes of those men and women. They are being used as tripwires for a financial reset they don't understand. Let's look at the history of the weapons being used. The Arleigh Burke class was designed for a different era. It was designed to fight the Soviet Union in the open ocean. It was not designed for the brown water swarm tactics of the IRGC in the 21st century. The technical specificity of the Iranian Fateh 110 missiles and their integration with Chinese satellite data means that our Aegis systems are constantly being fed ghost signatures. We think we are shooting at a missile, but we are shooting at a digital projection. Meanwhile, the real missile is skimming the waves at Mach 5. This is the reality on the ground that the experts in DC are hiding from you. They are hiding it because they have no answer for it. I will reveal the smoking gun, the classified memorandum from the Joint Chiefs, that acknowledges the U.S. can no longer win a conventional conflict in the Strait of Hormuz by the end of this video. But stay with me because we need to talk about your bank account again. If Iran says yes to those 5 countries and moves into Pakistan, they create a land-based energy bridge that makes the U.S. Navy irrelevant. When that happens, the dollar loses its status as the world reserve currency. Every dollar in your wallet will be worth 30 cents within a year. The regret won't just be in Tehran, it will be in every household in America. The elites are preparing for this. They are building their bunkers. They are buying up land in the secret country. They are leaving you to deal with the flickering communication lines and the sirens. The psychological state of the decision makers in the Pentagon is one of absolute panic. I know these people. They are currently debating whether to use tactical nuclear assets to restore deterrence. Having analyzed theater-level conflicts, I can tell you that restoring deterrence is a euphemism for starting World War III. The sensory detail of this escalation is already appearing. Streaks of light in the night sky over the Indian Ocean, the smell of cordite in the naval hubs of Bahrain, the flickering of the internet as the cyber warfare reaches our own shores. The 5 countries, China, Russia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, are begging Iran to move because they want to finalize the post-dollar era. They know that the seizure of these 7 ships is the Archduke Ferdinand moment of our time. Iran regrets it because they realize they triggered the cobalt ghost too early, but the US regrets it because we've revealed our last hand. We are out of conventional options. We have no more ships to send. Our logistics are stretched to the breaking point. We are currently trying to maintain a theater-level presence in 3 different parts of the world with a Navy that is 40% smaller than it was in 1990. Think about the technical specificity of the SM-3 interceptors versus $50,000 drones problem. It's a war of attrition that we are losing. We are literally shooting gold bars at pigeons, and the pigeons are winning. The secret country is the one providing the pigeons. They are the ones manufacturing the components that Iran uses. They are the ones who profit when we fire our $10 million missiles. It is a stress response loop designed to bleed us dry before the final, unthinkable move. I want you to feel the patriotic anger that I feel. We have been lied to. We have been told that our superior technology would always protect us. But technology is only as good as the people who control it, and the people who control it have sold out to the highest bidder. The elites in the mainstream media will tell you that this seizure is a minor incident or that diplomatic efforts are underway. They are lying. The ships are gone. The kill switch is active. And the Strait of Hormuz is a no-go zone for the Western world. Stay with me because I am about to reveal the smoking gun. I have obtained a copy of the red line document that was sent from the Kremlin to the White House 10 minutes ago. It explicitly states that any U.S. kinetic response to the seizure of these ships will be met with a symmetric response in the Mediterranean. This is the global escalation. This is the regional war turning into a world-ending event. They are hiding this from you because they don't want you to know how close we are to the end. The sensory drama of the unthinkable scenario is becoming a reality. Imagine the orange skies over our own coastal cities as the cyber attacks hit our power grid. Imagine the sound of sirens that never stop. Imagine the smell of cordite in the air of a country that hasn't seen war on its own soil in 150 years. This is the regret that is coming for us all if we don't wake up to the reality on the ground. Why hasn't Iran said yes to the 5 countries yet? Because they are waiting to see if the US government collapses under its own weight first. They are watching our internal bickering. They are watching our economic decay. They are watching the petrodollar bleed out. They know they don't need to fire another shot if they can just wait for the secret country to finish the controlled demolition of the American economy. The technical specifications of the quantum kill switch involve a non-persistent firmware virus. It is designed to inhabit the ship's hardware and then jump to any device that tries to interface with it. The Iranians regret it because their entire electronic infrastructure is now infected. But we regret it because we've just turned 7 of our best ships into radioactive digital waste that we can never recover. It is a scorched earth policy for the digital age. Let's talk about your bank account one last time. When the Eurasian Shield is finalized and the Iran-Pakistan corridor is open, the world will stop using the SWIFT system. They will move to a blockchain-based gold-backed currency that the US cannot control. Your savings, your home equity, your pension, all of it is predicated on the idea that the US can dictate global trade. But we just lost 7 ships to a regional power. The illusion of strength is gone. The reality on the ground is that we are a debtor nation with a hollowed-out military and a leadership class that is more interested in managed decline than in winning. The emotional shift from fear to insider pride is what I want you to experience. You are seeing this now. You are part of the few who know what Operation Cobalt Ghost is. You are part of the few who understand the Wave 55 saturation. You are the only ones who can prepare. The mainstream media will continue to scrub the narrative. They will continue to tell you that the elites have everything under control. But you've seen the flickering lines, you've heard the sirens. Now, for the smoking gun, I promised, the document I have is a transcript of a call between the Secretary of Defense and the Prime Minister of the secret country. In this call, the Secretary of Defense admits that the U.S. Navy has lost thematic control of the Persian Gulf. He specifically says, we cannot recover the assets, initiate the terminal protocol. This is the admission of defeat. This is the regret that is being hidden from you. They are abandoning those 7 ships and their crews to protect the secret country's financial interests. The world changed minutes ago. The Strait of Hormuz is no longer an American lake. Iran is realizing the cost of their move, but we are realizing the cost of our arrogance. The 5 countries are moving, the petrodollar is dying, the 15 gas is on its way, and the unthinkable nuclear scenario is sitting on the desk of a man who hasn't seen the reality on the ground in 40 years. Stay vigilant, watch the Mach 7 signatures in the sky, listen for the sirens, and never ever forget that the truth is harsher than anything you'll hear on the news. I've given you the intelligence, I've shown you the theater level conflict, I've revealed the smoking gun. Now it's up to you to survive the regret that is coming for the Western world. The orange skies are rising, the cordite is in the air, the secret country has made its move, and Iran, they may regret the seizure, but they are the ones holding the keys to our future. Don't let the flickering lines go dark before you've secured what's yours. This is the reality. This is the insider data. This is the truth they are scrubbing. Watch your bank account, watch the Strait, and stay tuned because the most shocking part of this, the actual Wave 56 response, is already being calculated in the bunkers of Rawalpindi. The game has just begun, and the stakes are everything you've ever loved. This is Scott Ritter. I've seen the data, I've analyzed the theater, and I'm telling you the time to prepare is now.